And with that, we're back. Welcome to Under the Table. We just wrapped up episode 14, the big crossover episode where we got everybody in here, both parties, exploring Arwin's Rest. Now, Under the Table is a post-game talk show discussion where it's basically like a Q&A going wild. We can ask anything, we can talk about anything. I won't give away spoilers, but we can talk about anything as far as the whole campaign is encompassed so far. Or questions about the future, obviously, without spoilers. But I'm going to leave it at that. Do you guys, as a full party, coming together, bringing the two stories together, do you guys have anything pressing that you guys want to talk about?
I feel like we got to talk a lot as a group and explore different things, and rather than having stuff we need to discuss in the after adventure, it's more of this was our adventure as we explored a lot of things and talked about it as if we were under the table, but in character. So I don't know, at least for me, it feels a little difficult to say, what do we need to discuss? We discussed a lot. We came up with a lot of plans.
I think the thing that matters now is, because this was kind of a one-off thing, like Adam and I usually won't be able to make Sundays. And so, what's that going to look like? Like, are we going to be gone next time for some reason? Maybe because we have another session on Tuesday. I think, right, Beth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back in town.
So yeah, like, you know, who knows what's going to happen with us? Like, we may start preparing those plans we talked about and then get pulled off somewhere else, and not be there when you get back. That's kind of what I imagine happening.
Or it might just be a simultaneous thing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so the idea, what we were originally doing was we were doing, Group A was going, and then when we switched to Strange Town Golden Ridge, Group B would go. And that's how we were doing it. However, I've swapped that to where both of you guys are going at the same time, and that way it's easier for me, because what you guys are doing is happening simultaneously. So the time when Group A was going out to the east, Group B decided to head north. You see what I'm saying? So that was happening at the same time, those events. That's why, like, Dibs is kind of one of the connecting facets here, because you guys, Group B, you guys met Dibs. He was running away from a monster, right? He was telling you, you gotta be quiet. There's a monster. That was the Swamp Dragon.
Right.
You guys weren't quiet. The Swamp Dragon found you. So he basically sacrificed himself, took off running, dragged the Swamp Dragon. Do you remember which direction he ran?
He was going east, if I remember, because we went down off the road.
He was headed east towards the mountain.
Yep.
East of you guys, towards the mountain, is where this group was. You guys were traveling back, because traveling there was no Swamp Dragon. You guys didn't encounter one. Traveling back, there was a Swamp Dragon, because something had brought it there.
Are you talking about Grunkle's hallucination?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the connecting, like, those events were happening at the same time kind of thing. Thank you for the show, Pickles, for emphasizing my point.
I was trying.
Yeah, so that's, like, those events were happening at the same time. So that's where I'm saying now you guys are just going to be going at the same time, so that way it's easier for me to not have to remember where you guys were when. What's nuts. However,
now, instead of it being campaign by campaign, it'll be like 1 episode, 2 episode sort of thing.
Yeah, so Sunday I get to run them, Tuesday I get to run you guys, and those events should be happening around the same time.
Gotcha.
Each week, you know. So yeah, their party is headed out of town, your party's staying in town, so that's where you guys are gonna split. How that goes and where it goes, who knows? You guys have plans. I'm a little confused because you guys spent the entire session trying to devise these plans, and I'm still where did you guys land? What are you guys doing?
So
A distraction. We went with the distraction plan.
We're gonna have a distraction plan with a backup plan of everything's gone to shit. We need to go hide in a hole.
If I can clarify, I think maybe we came up with a lot of plans of different avenues of basically a lot of effort to do things. Like we had
Oh,
the
yeah, we
bunker
got
idea.
Professor Grunkle going.
Well, the
Yeah.
I have a bullshit degree in some nonsense science. So as a player here, I feel like I can my bullshit degree in nonsense, I can rein us in. So we have a bunch of plans, but they're all basically the equivalent of Civilization 5 or any Civilization game really, of like what do we want to build? Do we want a barracks? Do we want a wall? Do we want like a bunker where we can all like hide? And I don't know. We have a lot of plans, but they all involve a lot of effort, especially in a swamp where you need to clear marshland or you need to excavate mud. And if we could focus on one, yeah, it would probably improve the town. But the biggest thing I think is that we need to alleviate the negatives, which I think is one of the things of making sound devices to distract the swamp dragon. We don't want that near the town, so we want to distract it out in the wilderness with things that will make noise. And we also want to deal with the twig blight problem because that is the biggest problem. Swamp dragon might be like an antagonist or something, but it's not an active antagonist. The twig blights are the active antagonist of this plot. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
Twig blights
Elder
are taking
Lane
kids.
is.
Yeah. So the twig blights are what we need to deal with as two different parties. And I think it was very beautiful to have this like team up here because we both can like share ideas. And that should be what our situation is, because we're all going to go to a different like situation shortly, and we should all know what the general plan is. Like we all want to help this town. We all want to defend the town, and we know what the two big threats are.
Yeah, I think digging the hole was decided because building an entire like fortress wall or castle type thing wasn't
It would
realistic.
take way too long.
It
Yeah,
would take longer.
So, a couple of notes, and these are things that you guys, I'm going to ask you guys, because I know these are things that you guys have learned, but I don't know if you're recalling or putting it all together, so I want to probe here. One, you guys brought up the mud. The swamp is engulfing the town. You guys brought that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Party B, you guys learned some stuff from Bjorn about that. You remember?
Party B is party 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's,
that's
Torveka,
that's
or not, sorry, Adarag and Nimwort.
Dragon Immortal, yeah.
I mean, he said corruption was coming from the mountains. Is that not what you're talking about?
And what have you noticed with the mud? Adarag specifically.
So I've noticed that there's green ichor bubbling up from the mud.
You mentioned
Yeah.
that.
And
Bjorn
another
said
thing that
it's coming from the mountain.
feel that my character will want to keep secret. So
Are you talking about the thing that I know?
the submerged thing,
yeah. Yeah, that's where you really picked it up, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
So you did learn that. So I remember at one point, I think it was Pickles who said, yeah, solving the mud problem would be great, like, but we don't know what, how, where. Adarag does. Well, Adarag and Nimwort do.
Sounds like shit, I'd say.
Yeah. So there was that. As far as plan of action, at the very beginning, I had Kyler be like, hey, you two should meet. And then you guys went on for like an hour, and then he was like, hey, should we plan? Like, let's do something. And so you guys sat down, and he was like, what about this? What about this? What about this? And you guys were like, yeah, no, none of those things. We're gonna dig a hole. And he was like, oh, okay. Because he's like, what about a moat? What about a wall? What about training people? Those are the
I
three
went with
things
the
I
moat
gave,
idea.
I gave you guys those three, and you were like, no, no, and no.
They would
said
all take a
training
lot of resources, but it's literally hard not to RP with these guys.
No, it's perfectly fine. You guys did perfect. I'm just saying, I gave you some stuff, and you guys went with your own idea. Perfectly fine. No problems there at all. I was just saying, like, just as far as the plans going, you guys were like, oh, we didn't know that we would be able to do any of those. So I was like, well, I mean, I mentioned them for a reason. I wasn't going to be like, hey, do one of these three, and then just, you weren't able to do it.
We said no.
So
moats like for a reason. Like we didn't think that would stop the dragon.
Yeah, I mean, like
All I
Korvekik
did was change what
Korvekik
the moat
knows
was.
Korvekik knows how to dig holes, yes, which would be great for digging a moat. But comparing a bunker he can dig underground or a moat he can dig
Hang on
around
real
a
quick.
settlement.
On that note, Adarag and Nimwort said something really important on their journey back from the north.
We did say it.
Yep. When you guys came back to town, what happened?
That the blights stopped at the river. Is that what you're referencing?
Yeah, I said that in our conversation.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's known.
Is that not what you're thinking?
Multiple times.
Okay. Because you guys are saying a moat won't work. But then you're also saying that they stopped at the water.
We're
The
talking
moat
about the
wouldn't
dragon.
work for the dragon, is what they're saying.
No. They said the twig blights. It was about the twig blights. Is the twig blights wouldn't cross the river.
Yes,
And
that's
that's-
true.
Right,
the
but
moat
we're
was for
also
the dragon.
worrying. Yeah, we're also worrying about the dragon rather than the twig
Huh.
blights. Which
But-
is why the bunker would be the better choice of time spent, because that's protecting everybody from everything rather than digging a moat that may or may not protect you from a dragon and or the blight.
Wait. Hold up, though. We crossed a river when we were avoiding that swamp dragon, and I remember us. We crossed we crossed the river at the same time that it just stopped chasing us. Like that was the last thing we did before. Like we crossed the river, we
Right,
saw it
but-
on the opposite side, and then we moved on, and it didn't follow us further.
That wasn't so much it not wanting to go across the water as it lost our trail because we crossed the water and stopped making noise.
Oh, that's a good point too. That is a good
Yeah.
point too. Conflicting evidence.
And it's a swamp dragon. It's obviously gonna like water because it's a swamp.
Maybe it's a twig blight dragon.
I also I hate to keep throwing this back to Group B here, but you guys learned something about this dragon as well. I believe was it Adarag when you were talking with.
Because I
Bjorn?
never. Oh, when I was talking with Bjorn,
You learned something about the dragon.
Oh, please.
I
let them
learned-
love
But
animals,
it's from the
please.
mountains.
that's
Please.
yeah. It's
He
not
knew,
originally.
he knew this dragon.
yeah. He knew this dragon because it had taken over his village.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it came down from the mountains because of the corruption that it had, and it was originally it wasn't an issue, but then it got corrupted and then came down from the mountain into the swamp area, and that's what's been causing and
Not
stirring up the
necessarily.
corruption.
It
Okay.
was leaving.
Mm,
As far as
It was leaving.
Bjorn's people had been at war with this dragon, just like in a turf war, because they all lived in the mountain, and they had been going at it. However, then he knew that the dragon was leaving because of chaos and corruption and stuff was going on. So the dragon left the mountain. So last he knew the dragon left the mountain, then you told him the dragon was corrupted and was here in the swamp. And he goes, oh, so he didn't make it.
Oh, so he didn't make it.
Yeah. That's just
So he was
extra
trying
lore.
to. Yeah. Sorry if we didn't communicate these things well enough. We were trying.
Are you
No,
apologizing
no,
to me
no.
or them?
I guess
I'm talking
everyone.
about it here just because I want to. These are things that you did learn, and I just want to make sure that it collected and connected.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to get every detail across in
There's
the
a
RP.
lot. Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah. No, I get that. Like from party 1/A. I feel like there's a lot of things that we both tried to RP and like come across as things going on, but some of us have more handicaps than others.
Because Grunkle can't form sentences.
Yeah, I was mostly pointing all of those signs at myself as I'm the handicap of this entire 5-person city-wide like restoration crew. But I like to think that we're all on the same like team here.
Grunkle
So
also
provide
brought up a really good point,
information.
though.
Well, Grunkle makes up a lot of points that he shouldn't
Grunkle
know.
dealt with blights. and he said exactly how he did it. And you guys came up with an idea on what you should do, and then you guys immediately abandoned it.
Oh, my idea, the fire pit.
I like the fire pit.
Mhm.
The oil
was-
around
it
the
was-
walls doesn't make sense because we don't have walls, and because that's a lot of oil.
No,
but
no, I was aiming
yeah.
to just like the moat idea, but instead of a moat of water, a moat of fire.
that would be fucking awesome, dude. But we are a swamp village, and we're fucking destitute.
The town
Yeah,
also
that's-
has one wall, a palisade wood wall, along the south. There's
Oh,
a natural barrier of the river to the north, which means there's the ocean to the west, which means only the east is not guarded by a wall. So if you were to put up a palisade wall,
Oh.
it's only on one side.
okay.
Okay.
That's less pathetic.
Yeah,
So,
because I think that
just-
was my misunderstanding.
I mean, you guys
Was
could put a wall in the north, but you guys already know there's a wall of water there that they didn't cross.
Yeah, right.
Get a map done up, damn it.
I
We've
guess
all
I'll
got,
draw
like,
up a map.
conflicting-
Yeah.
We've all got conflicting ideas of what the town looks like.
Yeah.
Can I give Alexius like 3 silver to make a map? It's my last silver. Can I give him my silver to just like fucking make a
You
map? for
can,
me?
but he doesn't really know how to make maps. So except Wilfer met someone who might be useful.
Okay,
I
well,
did.
well,
The antiquarian might be able to help us. He's got a lot of
Okay.
information.
need to pay
Antiquarian was
him for a
basically
map.
like, I've retained knowledge for a long time. If you have any needs to trade, I'm willing to trade. And he was like, nah.
I know
He was like, okay,
things.
well then I don't have anything to
well,
give
I
you.
mean, Wilford doesn't know anything. He's been on the run basically his entire life.
Yeah. But like, you would know that if Grunkle gave you 3 silver coins, you would know that 3 silver coins could be. That's knowledge right there. Like, yeah, the metal, it holds memories, and so he would be like, shiny memories. Oh, god damn it! I know that's not the right thing, but still, like, I don't have a use for money until we have a blacksmith. I want a big weapon,
Anyone
guys.
want to talk about what Dibs is carrying around?
He has
Not
a hammer.
a freaking 2-hand
Well,
sword.
the hammer, and then he also has the little sheet metal, or like the thing that has
rose emblem.
Inebria's emblem. Yeah.
Yep.
What?
And also Adarag's pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dibs has
as-
Dibs has a sigil that is the exact same craftsmanship as the one worn around Addison's neck in
We did notice that he had a religious symbol, but that was about as far as we got with that.
Yeah.
They're saying they examined it. It's the exact same sigil that Addison wears, and it's really good craftsmanship.
Mhm.
And that was
Well, he's
one
a
of the
little
that was one of the
fucking
first
Like
things
high
that
metal.
perked them. They were like, "Wait a second."
High metal working, like very good. And then he also had the metal rose, I think it was.
That
Like a
is
metal
that is
flower?
yeah, that is the sigil.
Oh, okay, that
Yeah.
is the sigil.
Hmm. Very sexual.
Oh, no. Okay.
I wouldn't have gone that way, but sure, why not?
Oh no! A goddess of inebriation, having a rose as
Every
the main
rose.
mascot symbol. Like, come on,
Every
guys.
rose
Every
has its
rose has
thorn.
I think
its
she's also
thorns.
called the Wench. I think is her title.
Yeah, but
She's a winch of Inebria.
Yeah. No, I mean Inebria is the Wench is her title. Yeah.
Mhm.
So a couple of different options. I was just saying you guys weren't sure what you. I mean, I provided those 3: putting up the wall, building the moat, training men. Those were just kind of overarching ideas to get you guys started. You guys could go anywhere with it, but those were just ideas to help. But I agree with what Pickle said. You know, it's like, which one do we want to invest in? Do you split up the party and, you know, oh, we'll tackle this stuff in town, you guys tackle this stuff out of town. Like, oh, we'll help with like building defenses, you guys help with building offenses, or you know, or we all, you know, come together and work on the same project and make a, you know, something better quality, you know. And it seems like that's the route you guys are going. You guys are going for you're building basically a mining vessel to help Torvekik drill out a bunker in town.
I think it's
Like a bomb
supposed
shelter.
to get him down to the actual rock, so he can.
It's supposed to help with the mud and the swamp part of it, so
I
he
wanna-
can get to.
I want to
Rock,
ask
like
one more
solid ground.
follow-up question. Do you guys remember what's under Arwin's Rest?
Runes.
Because it's not rock.
Ruins.
Well, it is
I mean,
rock. It's just
eventually it is.
it's carved rock.
Well,
Well,
It's an
is
everywhere.
there
civilization.
actually ruins? That's the thing, though. Is it actually ruins, or is it just the story?
Grunkle say it is.
Adarag?
I'll believe Grunkle because I've not been to that town before.
Because as far as as
Ah.
far as Torvekik knows, the only person who said anything about ruins is the ogre, and he's not the most reliable source.
Well, to be fair, there are ruins
Yeah.
on top of the mud as well, like that are still visible.
Right. But that doesn't mean it's under it. And even if there are ruins under it, even better for Torvekik, he doesn't have to dig as much.
There are elders in town that might know more. You guys were even directed to speak with one who might have some answers for you guys.
Which you completely ignored again. It's like the second session that he's just completely ignored the fact that he was supposed to talk to Evelyn.
You talking about me?
Yeah, the possible curse.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
And we've just gone out on
directed
another
you to go talk
adventure.
to Evelyn.
To be fair, we were told. Oh, Evelyn.
guys-
okay.
you
we
guys-
we
yeah.
to Elder Lane. Yeah.
You don't even know. Yeah. You guys have a connection with Elder Arlane. They met Granny Evelyn, who gave Grunkle a crown of flowers.
I keep getting distracted by crises other than the fact that I may or may not be cursed by a god.
Yeah.
And now we've gone out
You
for
and
another
me both.
adventure and you've possibly cursed.
Yeah.
I've got other problems apparently.
To be
So-
fair, also, no matter where you dig in the world, eventually you'll hit rock.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's my thought. Is
The
we just
rumor
gotta get through
is
the swamp
that
part.
Arwen's Rest is just built on ancient civilizations, and it looks like a lot of them. A lot
We're
of people
about to find out.
Yeah. So that could be interesting.
Don't dig on the north side of town.
maybe we'll find some cool caverns of old that
Yeah,
aren't
like-
filled with mud.
really cool loot or something. That'd be neat.
Call your local power department before you start
I'll-
digging.
All I'm hearing
Yes,
is wins
that's a
for
good plan.
Torvekik at this point. Whether it be ruins, gold, or just rock, you know?
It's like I'm digging out a
Torvekik-
bunker. Oh, never mind. I found treasure. Later.
Yeah, Torvekik's here for it, all right? He's digging a hole. He's doing what he likes doing besides killing stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the one group headed out to basically get the parts needed for your engineer to build a mining vessel, which would then be used by your dwarf to mine out a cavern. Meanwhile, Kyler is getting hold of Mr. Carver, who runs the mine nearby, and has crew that is going to help you out. Meanwhile, while they're out doing that, Adarag and Nimwort are working on noisemakers?
I think we're manufacturing just hundreds of these things to I'm gonna make them small. I was planning on using the oyster shells to amplify sound like a speaker. And then there's just gonna be like a little mechanical device where you hang something and it just slowly falls like a clock, and every 30 seconds it makes this loud ding, and we're just gonna have tons of them all over the forest.
Except you missed an appointment last night.
What?
And now he's come calling.
Oh, Elder Arlane.
Yes.
Well, isn't this touching?
Yes.
So we'll see after your meeting with Elder Arlane. Then noisemaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlene, yes.
Death
We'll
is
do that.
coming for you.
me first.
Ah,
All right. Any other thoughts on the campaign overall?
Are we gonna try and do another like this one?
Crossover? Probably not. I mean,
Yeah.
eventually, as people are available, but basically, they know when your guys' sessions are. If they're like, hey, Wrath, I want to show up for this session. Oh, okay, yeah, you guys are in a similar area, or I can get you in a similar area. Or if you guys are free on Tuesday when their session is, you'd be like, hey, you know,
I'm
can I play
normally
in their session?
free on Tuesday afternoons, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it could be as easy as you guys are out
That's a
working
Wednesday for
and
me, so I'm free.
You guys might need a fighter, and Torvek just shows up one day.
pulling product between they're in town.
I'm normally not available Sunday, but occasionally I'll be.
Yeah. So
I might
Is
be available
Wilford
every
just,
other Sunday.
who
is
knows?
Wilford just off in the background doing magic without anyone seeing him do it in like plain sight?
Basically. Yeah, you guys don't have any magic users
Like-
except Wilfer, who hasn't said he's magic, but he's just done
he's-
magic.
He's done it 3 times now in front
Nobody,
of people.
nobody said a word.
Yeah. Well, it's also you're still very small scale. Like you pulled a fish out of your pocket, but who knows what kind of effects that's gonna have, because magic is very dangerous in this setting, and there
Magic is
are-
chaotic.
Yeah,
He's
there are
just keeping up
outcomes
with
to
his
that.
he's just
Mhm.
keeping up with his hedge wisery.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta stay practiced so you don't lose the talent. So we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe that fish has a story to tell.
Maybe.
You guys come back and the fish has grown and it ate Liliana.
Dun dun.
And it is now the barkeep.
It's now the
Now owns
barkeep.
the town.
My poor. Glug
Glub,
glug.
I was born with one eye.
I was born in this pub. I'll die in this pub. Glub glub.
Glub, glub.
All right.
Does Liliana know what to feed fish?
Well, they do live in a fish
Shellfish.
town. Yeah.
Other shellfish?
Yeah, you eat other shellfish, right?
It's very much just a freshwater fish.
Maybe it just eats everything. Could be interesting. This is a fish born by magic. You don't know what it is. Anyways, all right, that'll wrap up under the table. Unless any passing thoughts, remaining thoughts.
Nope, I'm good.
Thanks, it was fun.
Pleasure meeting
It
y'all.
was nice meeting you guys.
Nice meeting you guys.
Yeah, good
Although
session.
I think I've said hi to you guys before.
Thank you everyone for showing up. Appreciate you. Most of these guys show around for drinks and discussions. You can catch them all there, or catch
feel
them
like
on
that
the
was
next
an attack.
episodes. Yeah. Besides him, well, Fred shows up occasionally. He used to show up more. And that's it.
I'll be
That's,
the next
you can catch them all in their own episodes of King's Crossing. Aired on Sundays and on Tuesdays on the live stream here on Twitch. That's all I got for you guys. Have a great night. We'll see you in the next video.
Adios.
Bye.
Peace.